Hello, today I'm talking to Tina, a fifth year student of veterinary medicine program, and she will share with us how to squeeze as much as possible from different training possibilities, which are for future veterinarians, and how to develop your skills and abilities outside of the school. So, hello, Tina.
Hi.
It's great to have you here, and I know you are very busy, so I appreciate that you found time to come here and to share something more with us. And the first question is how it actually happened that you ended up in Wrocław studying veterinary medicine.
Yeah, so actually I didn't really want to study in Norway because I'm from Norway. So I always wanted to go abroad and get different experiences. So I was starting to look at, because I spoke English, I was like, I have to go to the States or England or Australia or something like that. And they were all so expensive and I couldn't afford it. So I was like, what else can I do, And then actually it was one of the girls at the stables back home, and I was driving her home one night, and then she was like, oh my God, you should come, study with me in Wrocław. It's so good. And she just kept talking it up. It's such a great place, and it's, it's a great study. And then I was super inspired. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to Wrocław. I didn't even go there before I started my studies. I just okay, I'll go to Poland. So yeah, that's basically how I ended up here.
We are happy to have you here. Yeah, I know that you study hard and you are very keen on gaining some more experience outside of class. So could you tell us how you do that?
Yeah, so I think it started basically in first year, I think, where I took my first solo travel. So I literally just went to Krakow 3 hours away. And after that I kind of was like, you know what, it's not that bad traveling alone, because you always meet people. And I wasn't that outgoing when I started doing this. Everyone's like, oh, but you're such a butterfly, you're so outgoing. But when I started, I was not,
Okay.
So you kind of adapt to it and become that way as well. And especially when you start going to hostels, you're kind of you make so many friends, and it's so easy to connect with people because we're all doing the same things. We're all traveling, we're just, living our lives, having fun. So it's really easy to connect. And after that, I was like, you know what, it's not that bad traveling alone. So after that, I've been traveling all over the world, basically alone. So, Australia, the States, Africa several times, all over Europe. So, and I think as the year went on, I wanted to get more veterinary related experiences as well. And I think it actually started when I contacted some family that I had in the States, far out relatives, where I was like, you know what, I would love to learn from veterinarians in America. They were board certified, they were clinic owners, really cool. So I started there, and then kind of just started building up from there. And I was like, I wanted to now I kind of love traveling, and I love seeing every aspect of veterinary medicine in different countries, because it's very different how people do it, how the medicine is, even the atmosphere, everything's different in every country. So it's really interesting to go and see different aspects of it, because I feel like you can make a better picture of how you want your future to be. And
what countries did you visit during your internships or trainings?
Yeah, so I've been to Washington, Seattle a couple times, and I even visited the Shark Reef in Las Vegas and worked with the vet there. I've been to Australia, in Queensland. I've been in Africa a couple times, Zimbabwe 2 times, and then in South Africa. I worked in Norway, I worked in Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah, I think England soon, and we're gonna get some experiences from different countries.
But we are still missing the South America.
South America is actually one on the top of my bucket list. Machu Picchu, things like this, is the one continent except Antarctica where I haven't been. So it's definitely high up my bucket list.
It's still ahead of you, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Being very practical, how should one look for such opportunities? If a student wants to go to such internship or training, where are those places you should take a look at to find those opportunities?
Yeah, one of the most asked questions on my Instagram as well is how do you do what you do? How can I do it? How do you find all these internships and externships and stuff like that? And it's really I can't just answer it in one sentence, because honestly, every travel has a different story. So some of them I literally found on Facebook. Some of them I just I had a friend who went there, and then I just asked, and then some places I just sent emails, and then yeah, so it's really variable. So it's contacts, or it's like, you know, just searching, finding online. So I wish I could say like, oh, this website and that's it. It's not that easy, you know. But every place, you know, was very different. Some places I had to pay. Some places, you know, was for free. I could just stay there for free. And some places I worked and I got paid. They all have a really different story. So yeah.
And what was the best training or internship you had?
Ooh, that is a really hard question. All of them like served different things that I learned. A lot of them were really like, or like theoretical, like I could watch, and the vets were really like telling me everything. I could ask questions, stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the ones where I could be really practical, because that's one of the things I'm really lacking, to like have hands-on and get some actual experience on things. So I think one of my absolute favorite ones was this summer in South Africa. I was at a project from Vetex on Kondo Big Five, and it was just insane. We're, you know, darting from helicopters. We're, you know, in the back of a truck driving 60 kilometers an hour off-road behind a helicopter, waiting for it to net gun the animal, and we were having like several big antelopes in the back of the truck, and, you know, we're giving injections, and we had theoretical learning as well. So it was like we had classes, and then you have to put everything into real life, and you have to be really quick with it too, because like, you know, you have seconds to calculate the dosage for this animal, and then you have to inject it in the correct way, and then you have to make sure, you know, all the security is done, like sternal position, you know, maybe tongue out, you know, head up, all these things. So you have to really know your stuff really fast. So I learned so much in such a short time. It was so fun. So much adrenaline. It was such a cool experience, and I made so many friends. So it was really cool experience. Definitely definitely my favorite one.
Wow. Sounds extreme.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and how do you do it? You know, with a student budget, which is often limited, how do you manage to travel so much?
Yeah, so like traveling in general, I really like cut back on everything that I can. So I think I'm the only Norwegian living at the dorms. So like I try to like live cheap and then not spend so much money outside of my travels. And when I do travel, I try to do as cheap as possible. So I have a few apps that I like to use, and if possible, I can travel like by bus or something. I always like look for cheapest options. So what's the cheapest day? Which, you know, and here it's easy. What is the cheapest city? So I can go to Warsaw, Krakow, Berlin, you know, different cities to try to find the cheapest tickets. So try to find cheaper ways to get there. And then, you know, if you have friends there, it's even better. You know, maybe you can crash at their place, or you can try to find something cheap, you know, because who can afford hotels anyway when you're a student? So I go to usually like hostels, especially when you travel alone. Hostels are just amazing because you make so many friends. It's so much fun. And maybe they join you to do things, and it's incredible. And then if possible, you know, you can cook your own food, or try to, you know, not spend too much on the most expensive restaurants and stuff like that. Find some websites where you can find like the actual cheap restaurants or whatever, and then so basically try to like save on every aspect of your life, you know. And I like to say that you can exchange experiences with comfort. So like sometimes I travel with like 11-hour bus rides instead of taking the flight, because I save like maybe 5 or like 50 euros or something like that, you know. So it kind of depends, like, do you have more time or do you have more money? So for me it's usually like I have more time, so I go really cheap and, you know, sleep on the bus, and, you know, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
I could probably pick, you know, live in a nice flat, maybe have a comfortable trip to Spain once a year or something. But instead, I live really cheap, you know, I eat pretty cheap, and then I try to, you know, travel whenever I can, and then in the cheapest way possible. So find things that are cheap or for free, and then find cheap flights or transport. Try to not spend too much on food and other things. So I really spend all my money on traveling and volunteering and learning.
Wow. Yeah, you are sacrificing a lot, but it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
It's worth it.
In my opinion, anyways.
I know it's not easy to answer, but are there any like resources you could use, or actually websites for searching for such opportunities, or maybe some organizations which could help you to find like such trainings?
Yeah, so I think it all depends like which school you go to and everything, but like there are definitely websites, like I know the Worldwide Vets, for example. Most of these opportunities you have to pay for though, but they're usually really cool opportunities. And yeah, so you can find like different veterinary opportunities in different countries. And I know, like, for instance, like the SPCA, they usually take people and you can learn to like spay and castrate and stuff like this. And there is a lot of spay and neuter projects. I'm gonna get more into this now soon because I actually can. I can start doing this stuff. So, but yes, there is websites. I'm sure there's like organizations, or if you start looking for it like in your area, I'm sure you have a friend or maybe an organization at school or something that like is offering a few different things, and take advantage of it, you know, look into stuff. So I think it's also about like taking opportunities and stuff like this, because, you know, it's also like, you know, if you drive a car, it's like, you know, you have to know where you're going, you know, start like getting inspired, you know, having some thoughts about where you want to go. And then, you know, if you keep thinking about all the places you don't want to end up, you know, you're going to end up in the ditch. So like, you really want to like ask yourself the questions like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? And if you can answer these questions, you know, and then finding people that you really inspire and that you want to be like, because like, yeah, so like say you really want to work with wildlife or something, or you want to be a specialist in like cardiology or whatever, and you find this one person, maybe online, maybe they have social media, whatever, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to work with this person. So, you know, send an email. It never hurts to ask, you know, so try to like get into it, get contacts, all these things, because yeah, networking is really important also in this profession. There's a lot of ways to get there, you know, like everyone has to start somewhere. So I also started from scratch, and I didn't have any contacts when I got here. And then I started traveling, I started meeting people, I, you know, made friends, and I made friends with their friends, and, you know, everything kind of developed. So now I have contacts for a lot of things. So it's really good. So contacts is very important. I think also like, yeah, just being motivated and inspired and keeping yourself motivated and inspired. Like I get very inspired by actually social media, because like a lot of vets or vet students, they post a lot of interesting stuff, and I get very inspired to do more and learn more and be better and all these things. So yeah, keeping yourself motivated. And one thing is, when you know where you're going, it's kind of easier, because then opportunities kind of just like starts popping up your way. Like it's weird to say it, but like I think after my trip to Australia especially, I was surrounded by really successful people, people who's on Bondi Vet, you know, and, you know, they were so successful, and they were living such a cool lifestyle, and it was just like, I kind of adapted to their mindset, and I kind of realized like what it's about and what it's like. And yeah, my brain's been like constant work after that. It was just like, yeah, let's go. So like, even like I started my social media, especially like after that, and I started sharing more. And, you know, you connect with people also when you start sharing stuff, because people are like, oh my God, I want to go here, I want to do this. And then people text me about other opportunities as well. Like a lot of the opportunities I got is like people just texting me on Instagram. Maybe they want me to be an ambassador, or maybe they're just randomly like, oh, this project is cool, I went to this one. So, you know, putting stuff out there, you know, so people know about you, you know, it's communication, it's contact. So yeah. There's so many ways to get opportunities to do things, like contacts. You can just search online, be a part of organizations, you know, be active, be out there, let people know who you are. So maybe, yeah, and take opportunities coming your way. Like, I feel like most people are like, no, it's not for me, it's far away, too expensive. Just like, look at it. Maybe you can make it work. So, yeah, take the opportunities that comes your way, and yeah. Be active.
Yeah, it's very interesting, because as you said, when you started to look for opportunities, you were not as professional as you are now, because you said maybe you were more shy, because now I cannot tell that's the thing.
No,
you are very open, so there's hope for everyone, I guess. You don't have to be, you know, very outgoing.
Yeah, no. The first travel I went to, I was actually quite shy. Like, I didn't have a lot of friends, I don't know. I was just kind of shy. And then when I got there, I made so many friends in one day, and then I got less shy. And the next time I traveled alone, it was not that scary. And then every time I travel, it keeps getting less and less scary. So now I'm all for solo traveling. It's so much fun, and you learn so much about yourself and about others, and you meet so many people and see so many places, and I just absolutely love traveling alone now. And you don't have to wait for anyone, you know. You don't have to, let's go on a holiday sometimes this year. No, and then it's go 3 years later and you're still trying to go somewhere because nobody wants to go with you. No, just go alone. Just go to a hostel. You make friends anyways. So like, I don't know. I think life's too short to like wait for someone. So if you want to do something, just go do it, you know. And also, like, I don't think people understand how many emails I send. I always keep joking about having a secretary because like I send out so many emails, you know, like externships here and like shadowing there, and like sometimes really cool opportunities come up. So like you have to go through like rejections, people not answering, things like this too. Like it might hurt your ego a little bit, but like the worst thing that happens is that you get a no, you know, and that's the end of it. It's nothing bad really coming from you asking for anything. It's like worst thing they don't answer, or worst thing they don't have space for you or something. So like it's nothing bad coming out of it. So I think like making contacts and just literally just sending an email is such an easy thing to do. Like it takes you a minute, and maybe 10% of the time or less people actually answer like, oh my god, this is so cool, I didn't know you were interested in this, and then oh you should contact this person and this person because I don't have time right now, but maybe later. And then that actually happened too. Like in England, I'm going this semester break, and they were like, I don't have time personally, but why don't you check out this person or this person? And then I contacted the first one in his list, and he was like, oh my gosh, yes, we love having students, and you can stay here for free and everything. So just like keep sending those emails and find the good deals, really.
Oh.
There's so many options out there, and people
but it sounds like a hard work. No, you need to be persistent and
it's not like everything just get handed in my lap, you know. I think a lot of people think so, like, oh, she has it so easy, she get everything offered to her. Like, no, I send out emails like every week, almost daily. I answer messages, you know, I put content out there, you know, I work a lot for this, so like it's not like it's for free, but you know, it's worth it. Like I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. So just put your name out there, just keep working, keep sending out emails, looking for opportunities, and take the opportunities that are given to you, because like sometimes things are meant to be. Like you go somewhere, you meet new people, and then your life develops just because of that one experience. So it's really like
Wow. I got inspired.
Yes. Mission.
All right, I know that you are also having your own blog or Instagram. Would you share it with our listeners?
Yeah, for sure. So my Instagram and TikTok is Traveling Vet Student. And I also made a blog. So I created a newsletter because like people are always asking the same questions, you know, and like I have so much info, but it's just like it takes forever to answer everyone. So it's like I just put everything in one place. So like I have on my blog, I answer like the most common questions, like how do I travel so much, and about my trip to Australia when I was working with, you know, famous vets. That's like questions I get a lot. So I read this article. If you have more questions, you know, like you can ask me. And also I get a lot of cool opportunities. So like all my trips to Africa, acupuncture courses, scholarships, you know, these kind of things, people know about it. So I just created this newsletter. So every time I have something cool, usually I ask for a discount so I can give my listeners or viewers a discount. So I just send out newsletters like every time I got something. It's not like an often thing, but like maybe once every 2 months or something. I'll send out a discount for a book about how to become a vet in Australia, or discounts and info about acupuncture courses in Europe. And, you know, like all vet-related stuff. And I'm also thinking about maybe like emergency books or like, you know, stuff like this. I have a lot of things coming up. Maybe chiropractics, you know, a lot of things. So, and even like about my last trip to Egypt, a lot of people asked me questions, and I was like, let me just answer it in an email, like they can read everything and see pictures and everything. So then they have everything handed there. So I make them pretty nice and tidy, and then I just send out the info. And if people have more questions, they can always ask. I don't know if I have time to like get back to all the questions always, but like I answer most of them. So I try to, you know, stay in touch with people, and it's not just followers, you know, it's kind of more like friends, and like it's a community. Like I'm talking to other people, influencers or whatever, all the time, and like we're doing the same kind of things, and we have the same mentality. So it's actually really cool. It's a really cool community, and yeah, I like to share things. So like if I learn things also, like not just general things, but things that are like a little bit more hidden and like hard to learn or hard to find people who know something about it, I like to share it as well. So, and also like ethics and like everything within veterinary medicine, really. It's like I like to share it, and yeah. So
yeah, we will share the details to your blog and to your Instagram, like below the podcast, so anyone interested can go there. When you travel so much, is it always like voluntary work, or you earn some money sometimes?
It completely depends on the experience, but some of them I had to, you know, you have to pay for it. So like especially like going to Africa and stuff, usually you have to pay. But there are, you know, if you find opportunities through friends or through emails, usually it's just like shadowing, so you can come for free, or like externships. So yeah, a lot of these are for free, and some of them even like offer you a place to stay for free. So, yeah, it's pretty good deals, honestly. I did have a few like jobs, I guess animal related jobs. I used to work in a zoo, and I 2 summers ago I was working in Sweden as a vet nurse, because then if you had your pharmacology you can work as a nurse, but they want people who speak Swedish and Norwegian. So yeah, and this summer also I'll probably work in Norway, so then I'll start earning some money, but most of my experiences is non-paid, and sometimes I pay for it, basically.
Wow, it was very inspiring talk and so important. So thank you for sharing all your experience with us. And of course, if you have more questions, you can contact our admissions office, or you can go to social media of Tina. And thank you very much for listening today, and hope to see you soon.